Jay here to make your day. We're going to talk about Andrew Tate updates. Who knows what's the deal with him? Logan Paul apologizes and cries. You know, it's funny. Someone said, Jeff, you clickbait. Damn right, I clickbait, man. Because me and my brother Josh talk about this all the time. Cloud Jason clickbaiting all the way. John Jones turns to UFC, return, which I don't even really know John Jones as much. So we'll get into that. I know I fell asleep. I'm a little under the weather up here, taking care of my shoulder and my dad in Connecticut before we're back at Miami for a Miami meetup. Can't wait to be back there. Alex Moore Mindset really humbles me back being in my old little place here where I had so much confidence and grew from, but makes me grateful for where I'm at. We're going to be at a mini 10X business boot camp with Andy. I did my first meeting. We're reading the book Ready, Fire, Aim, which is a great book, actually. If you haven't not read that, I'm actually was reading that right before we started this. So good afternoon, Josh. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How about you? Well, I'm doing good. It's a little cold up here in Connecticut. It's actually, what's the degrees
it's cold
out?
In Miami too, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I saw what's his name? Damon John, like making a joke about his fashion. He's like, it is cold in Miami. I'm wearing this, whatever it is, 45.
Dude, I like Damon John.
So do I. He's got like a unique personality, but it's like it fits him so well. You know what I mean?
It fits him so well. He reminds me like one of those friends that we would know, but like, I like this guy. Like almost like a Richard or something like that, like.
Yeah. So what do you want to talk about first?
I don't. You haven't seen the Logan Paul apologizing video?
Pull it up. I haven't.
So here's the thing: people get mad. Let me. So Logan Paul and Jake Paul, and I know I probably shouldn't put them together because they're two different people.
They are very much different people,
and they're two very different ways. But they're both brothers and they're both YouTubers, kind of like what me and Josh are. So I always looked at them of, man, if these guys could do it, I could do it. Especially, dude, I didn't know Logan Paul. I was at poker. We were at poker that night. I won everything. Guy next to me goes, I hate Logan Paul. And I go, oh, really? Why? Like Logan Paul, I look at him. And now, by the way, everybody hates him. He's like getting canceled to turn off comments. It is bad. So it's funny because I remember, John Legere buying a MacBook Pro. He's going to the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight. And I've always wanted to fight Floyd Mayweather. When we used to watch him, I was like, man, I wish I could just fight him. One fight, right? And then to watch Logan Paul be able to fight him, I'm like, man, I think there's always a little bit of like, man, I wish I stuck with YouTube and really took it seriously because this guy's no special than me or you, right?
I mean, he is 6'3" or 6'5". I'm not that tall. Not that makes him special, but I'm just saying.
That's more reason for me to fight Floyd Mayweather than him, So anyway, I remember watching it.
You and I are both Floyd Mayweather's fighting class.
Right. Well, no, I'm a little heavier.
Yeah, true. And
he could get up to it, but so could Jake Paul. Jake Paul could really get a serious fight with Floyd Mayweather. He's talked about that before. And Floyd always has taxes, so he's always paying, which he's always fighting.
So the apology video. Why did the guy not like why didn't the guy not like Logan Paul?
Because, and I don't even want to bring it up, it's just because it was a part of me, and I don't know why, and this is going to get me in a lot of trouble, but I understand what people are going through. Like, I don't really hate too many people. I don't hate AOC. Dude, I really don't. So I don't even hate CoffeeZilla. He annoys the hell out of me. Okay, that guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's people, like, if I get
CoffeeZilla is a Christian too? Makes sense, right? That's why I don't want to be known as a Christian. Follower of Jesus on his... Can
I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think he is. Okay. I think he's probably just saying that to ethically put himself above higher people.
Well, I guess you could be a follower of Jesus without a Christian,
This is true. I mean, I like saying I'm a Jesus guy.
You could just read the Bible and follow. So anyway, let's go in. We'll go into this here. By the way, I've been working a lot. By the way, I'm monetizing now on whatchamacallit.
We should get a social media platform and call it whatchamacallit.
Dude, we could build it in ChatGPT right now.
All right, what are we doing?
Logan
Paul crying.
Actually, no, I always like going to Twitter because you put it on Twitter and Twitter is better. And
I like to use Twitter a little bit more of a plug. I'm with you on that.
Yeah, and Twitter's
it's so funny because whenever I go to Twitter, I'm like, oh yeah, let me see what's going on in Twitter.
Who would you like to see on the next podcast? So I'm going to
comment. I almost tagged you.
Oh, did you? Should have. Oh, you want me to tag you? Do one of those?
Oh yeah, we could. Let's do it right now.
Actually,
I was like, yeah, I'd like to see Jeff on there.
Oh, that's very nice, dude. Yeah, dude, I definitely have Tim Tebow. Dude, you know what's funny?
What?
I had to speak better and stuff and communicate more clearly, but it will happen. All of it will happen, you know? Dude, we're about, once I get everything in here. Oh, look, dude, this is a tweet storm that I did. All right, let's go into Logan Paul. By the way, it's better to go, your life gets better only when you get better. It's true.
Yeah, no, you see that? Is that Tate?
That's Tate.
That's not Tate.
That was Tate.
No, the other one.
Oh, she's trying to sell her Eternals. All right. By the way, somebody said this. I think I sent it to you, dude. I think I should get married really quick. This will make every woman happy. Because there's too much. Who said it? Oh, it's about like Andrew Tate. It said when the Matrix is out to get you, or when the global is out to get you, like they can have any girl. I sent it to you. Do you know what I'm talking about or no?
I don't.
Basically, oh, I forget who said it. It was somebody. They sent 2 spies to go pick up some guy. Oh, it was Alex Jones said it. And he said, well, actually go to it. I think it's on here. All right. So this is apology. Oh, wow. He was watching UFC.
No, he was watching KSI because KSI was fighting.
Oh, he fought last night? All right.
Yeah.
This is it. 2.4 million views. All right. Ready? Sure. Now, you know everything that happened, right?
I do. Yeah.
All right. So we don't have to recap it. Anybody else search it up here? Do this. 2.4. And there's a lot on it.
I called him. I apologized.
Oh, look at what he said. I don't like how he started.
CoffeeZilla is not a criminal. I called him. I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire, an ego flare, whatever it is, pride. I'm a fighter at heart, and I was defensive because I know I never scammed anyone with this project. I never made any money, never sold any tokens, and I only had the best intentions going in. But the fact is, the suing CoffeeZilla is not going to help CryptoZoo holders, so I do need to focus my attention where it should be, which is on fans and supporters of me. You guys mean the world to me, so I'd like to announce my 3-step plan moving forward. Step 1, Jeff and I are going to burn our Zoo tokens so we have no financial upside in the game and it will add value to holder tokens. Step 2, we want to offer a rewards program for players who are disappointed in the status of the game. So essentially you're going to be able to burn your base egg or your base animal for the mint price, which was 0.1 ETH or the equivalent in BNB. I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million right now for players who want to get out. And then step 3, obviously finish and deliver the game as outlined in the white paper by completing the egg bridge from ETH to BSC for base animals and base eggs, completing the marketplace, and obviously completing the releasing your animals into the wild to improve your yield function. To say I am disappointed in how this was handled internally is an understatement. There's a full internal investigation going on along with an audit, and we are going to pursue full legal action for whomever needs to be held accountable. If any money is recovered in the process, it'll go right to the community. My sole obligation is to my supporters, and I know this video is long overdue. Here it is. I'm sorry, guys. I apologize for how this has unfolded thus far, and I want people to know that they can trust me and that I'll always take care of the fans and people who support me. I appreciate your guys' patience while we do our internal investigation, and I promise to be transparent and disclose any information we find out in the process. And lastly, thank you, CoffeeZilla. You have catalyzed this, and I am very grateful for your work and your investigation, and I mean that. Thank you, bro.
So
I wonder if he actually talked to CoffeeZilla and CoffeeZilla started to like,
yeah, he called
kind of like be like, hey man, I'm just trying to like shine a light on helping people, right?
Right.
And they
I think CoffeeZilla or whatever the guy's name is. I hate calling him that, but whatever. CoffeeZilla. People call me Jeff.
Steven is his name. Dude, no wonder. His name's Steven. Like, come on.
Yeah, there's some Steves that way. Listen, he's kind of just an annoying, like, type of guy. I do think he means it in the best way sometimes, but I think he does.
I think he
facing.
does. He believes what he's doing. He believes that he's doing what's right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying he's doing a bad thing. Like, I fully support CoffeeZilla as being able to do what he does. It's just the audience that he attracts is like, ugh, to me. Like,
Right. You get people like, no offense to well, like Grant Cardone, Patrick McDavid, Logan Paul, they've all put out a lot for their brand, right? They put them all in the same thing. And so people who want to be like them, who never like them, want to look for reasons to poke holes. And he gives them all the reasons to poke holes. You know?
Yes.
So, and that's the troubling part of it. Like, here's the thing. Part of me is like, damn, I should have just built up a brand like Meet Kevin or CoffeeZilla and just started tearing people down. You know what I mean? Like,
but that's not who you and I are, right? We can't do it. We would have to force ourselves to do it. You remember the time where the video where Meet Kevin went and he goes and confronts Grant Cardone, who was at a restaurant or whatever it is, and he walked outside and recorded it. This is back like when Meet Kevin was like nobody knew who he was, and his whole big thing was he was speaking to the people who did not like Grant Cardone, right? So he was like, Grant Cardone's a scam or whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And then he went to go approach him, and Grant said, yeah, no, I get what you're doing, man. Everybody's got to get their piece. I get it. I understand. And he was saying, like, you're building your business model on tearing me down, but that's your way of getting your piece of money, right? And Grant said it to him, like, I get it, dude. Like, that's what you're doing. And the funny thing is,
I remember seeing that too.
Meet Kevin posted it like more to poke holes at Grant, and it actually made Meet Kevin not look so. It made Meet Kevin.
Yeah, Grant. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. I know why people don't like Grant. I get it. His goal is not to be liked. His goal is to be known, which I was like, damn, she just made a better goal, Grant, because it makes it tough on me, right? Because if I say, no, I like Grant, I have his back, I get so many people who don't like Grant as well, right? Because listen, at the end of the day, dude, I'm going to be at the boot camp. I wouldn't be, and I said this, he's going to be speaking at Break the Code in Miami. Alex Moore Mindset got every single guy there that's probably been epitome of my success, including Gary Brecka right now, so
what do you think that, sorry, we went off really on tangent. Yeah. What do you think that video does with Logan Paul? What does that do for him? Does it do anything for him?
Yeah, I mean, it at least shows that people just here. Look at the comments. Like, here's the funny thing: the people vote. Like, at the end of the time, win the crowd, win your freedom. If you go back into it and you look at, I don't even know these comments. I saw the YouTube ones. People are saying, "Hey, finally, thank you so much." So you clearly missed or dismissed a lot about this dude's character to make exceptions.
Kevin will defend himself using facts. Something is getting on the habit of twisting his opinions more from YouTuber to a crypto bro. A little bit late, still not taking responsibility for all mistakes. He got exposed, now he's trying not to get sued. This is not the goodness of his heart. Guys, I didn't scam you, I only tried to scam you. I don't think I stand myself. I'm not saying it's true, it's just people are funny. Another painful watch. Keep scrolling. That's not enough. You even look more horrible. Why stop at 3 steps when you can do 12? I was wondering if somebody's going to make a comment like that. Yeah, sorry, this was a scam. Any crypto project that's based on games monkeys will never have utility or value. That one, people are trying to promote.
Look at this then. Logan, any chance you can guide little brother to being accountable and accepting 100K of promo money from scammers? Jake Paul helped mint this thing out of an no ad campaign to burn tokens of the thing. Tap in, let's fix it. Jake Paul's F it.
I did my first. Definitely in a simulation. These devils are clean as fuck. This is back in September 8th, 2021.
Right. So anyway. So I respect and complete complete turnaround from merge response. This is much better. Still gonna have some haters waiting for this long. Nothing. Good on you, Logan. So I like that one. So I mean, I don't know, dude. That's kind of the consensus.
I mean, it is. He tried to build something. Obviously, it failed. This is what I looked at. I don't think he was. I mean, I don't know. Here's a thing that's going to sound really mean, but I don't know if he's smart to build a big metric system trying scamming everybody. That's one thing. Like, I think sometimes people give people too much credit. Do you know what I mean? Like CoffeeZilla saying Logan Paul was orchestrating this and trying to scam. I didn't know. I didn't watch all of CoffeeZilla's videos, but
neither did I.
It's just like it's negativity, and it doesn't add any value to my life. I can't learn from it. I just learned like A, never want to wear suspenders, and B, I'm never gonna have hair like Logan Paul. So like, it's like that's what I learned from it.
Well,
so
no, my whole point in this is like, do you think Logan Paul like comes back from this, or if he even goes down, or yeah, right?
Yeah, I think honestly, what Logan Paul needs to do more is like. He needs to do more stuff that is congruent with what he believes that he should be doing, not what other people are telling him what he should do.
Well, yeah, that's true.
As our boy Andrew Tate would say,
"Don't say our boy. I get a lot of trouble."
Well, I'm kind of making a joke anyway. He's saying he's a little bitch, and he was bought out. Here's the thing. I don't think he necessarily is bought out, but I think he necessarily like tries to do what other people are telling him to do. Right. And that's why it feels so inauthentic. That's why it's congruent to who he believes he should be and what he should do. And I honestly don't think he's a bad guy. I just think he's like taking all this information. Okay, I'll do this. Okay, I'm supposed to do this. Okay, I'm supposed to do that.
Yeah, what made it look bad with the crypto zoo thing is he just started pointing blame at other people, and I get it. It sucks, dude. I hired people but the biggest thing, and Logan, if you're ever watching this or anybody, extreme accountability is huge all the way. Like even me being here, like everybody's like, Jeff, you're not mad. Your place in Miami. I'm like, no, it's my fault. I said, okay, it sounded good. I wanted Colombia. I want to fix my teeth. That was the thing. I can't be mad. I'm mad at myself. That's really what I'm mad at. Extreme accountability. I said, okay, this whole thing, that's why I'm where I'm at. So I can't get any more mad. Everybody's like, oh, I'd be mad. It was my fault. And I think if he took it that way, extreme ownership is huge. Once you can do that to a point, I think it's so freeing. I said it about Trump, dude. Trump took extreme ownership for saying, grab her by the thing. And because of that, I thought, dude, when that came out, I thought he's not going to win the election. Like that's the thing.
This is the reason why people have a problem with doing extreme ownership and extreme accountability, because we live in a nation where headlines rule everything. So people say things that actually are factually inaccurate, and it gives the person, I know because I've felt this way before, it gives the person whose fault it is, like, I want to take responsibility, but that's not true. Like, oh my God, right? So for instance, I remember when I was hiring and firing people, and I was trying to hire people as much as I possibly could. And I was like, there was so much needs and like whatever it was. And this is one of the reasons why I built a hierarchy of human development, because I was like, I just need somebody. I guess they're good, just hire them, right? And then the person wouldn't show up, they wouldn't do whatever, they would have a bad attitude, we have to fire them. And then the people there would be like, this guy, Josh, has no idea what he's doing. Look who he's hiring, right? And like, that's justifiable in their mind. And at the same time, I felt on the defensive. It's like,
where were you then? What town were you hiring in right then?
So this is in Shelton and in Danbury. More like the beginning of Shelton.
You should write a book about all that, dude, because it's so many stories. Like you learn so much. So many
stories.
Or just
but here's one thing that's uncomfortable. I had a cook tell me that I was racist because I fired 2 people that happened to be Black, right? And the thing is the thing that really, really upset me is because you know how I am, you know how we feel about that. In fact, like I feel like I'm defending myself here, but when we went to Living Word Ministries, all my friends were Black, and I really trusted them more than I trusted white people, to be honest. Like, so I was like reverse racism when I was a kid.
Dan always said there's no such thing as reverse racism, and I never thought about that, but
So what I mean by that is, like, I looked at, like, I had more in common with people who were in Living Word Ministries that we hung out with, as opposed to people who were, like, not in common with us, right?
Dude, and
unfortunately,
it
was painted with something like of a brush of what color skin that somebody was. Whatever. Having said that, it's neither here nor there. I got upset because he was saying something. He was smart and he was manipulative. He was trying to say something to take his anger, because maybe I fired a guy that helped him on the line get away with doing like less, and now he's got to do more work. So he's gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna blame this guy as a racist. Mm-hmm. And it really, really like hurt my feelings, because I'm trying to support a restaurant. I hate firing people, hate it to the point where I would get sick. And it didn't matter. Like, if you looked at like the list of people who I fired, it was across all spectrums. It had to come, it was all factual based, right? Like, they're not doing their work, they're not showing up. One of them was smoking weed on the job, but there was no drugs allowed, and we had to fire him immediately. I
remember you telling me that story.
Yeah, one person, two people got in fights and were screaming profanities at each other across the line, and I had to get rid of them both. Right, regardless of what color they were. It was
that mid shift, or did you get rid of them after?
I was not there for that. I had to hear about it, and then I had to hear this happen. All right, I got to talk to this person. That happened. This person happened. All right, let me talk to HR. This is what I have. I'm going to get rid of these people. What do you guys believe? Yes, absolutely. That is not tolerated. Okay, awesome. I know I have to fire them, but I'm also getting HR's feedback too. So anyway, that guy made that statement, and it really wanted me to be like to defend myself at the same time, because it's inaccurate. It's factually inaccurate, right? And that's what people are going to do online. They're going to tweet something and say, you're a racist, you're a misogynist, you're whatever it is. Stuff that, like, now they're attaching to your identity. It is not true at all.
Right.
And you feel the need to now you have to, you're focusing on that instead of focusing on, what's the real problem here? Like, the real problem in that situation is I was not hiring the right people. And I wasn't paying attention to listening to my people's needs. And that's what the real problem was. I needed to take extreme responsibility for that. Right. But people are throwing stones, and on those stones are factually inaccurate statements. Right. And that's what happens a lot. That's why a lot of people don't want to take extreme accountability, because the mob are saying things that are way out of left field. So then people don't want to.
Right. So that makes sense. And I totally get the point. Because so them calling Logan Paul a scam, instead of him saying, hey, I extremely but I did everything, he's going to defend, no, I'm not a scam, which makes him look
right. He's going to be like, no, this is not what I was doing. And then,
which I personally don't think he was trying to scam anybody. You know what I mean? At all. I think he's trying to make
this is the thing. Either he is the smartest person in the world, and he built this whole system out, and I'm going to scam all these people, or he's a brand new businessman and didn't know what he was doing. Right? Which one do you believe more? I believe he's a brand new businessman and has no idea what he's doing, and he made a lot of mistakes.
I would show you the white paper. Ahmad, I almost got in something with Ahmad. And actually, going back in Living Word Ministries, dude, we both grew up in the same thing, Pentecostal church, everything. I never knew people judge people different than their skin, okay, at all, until reading about Martin Luther King Jr. after and everything like that. So it makes me outraged. You know this, dude. You know it's a big part of me. I was talking to several people. I want to be some sort of change I can in the world on that, 100%. And I don't know how. I remember talking, dude, and I'll say this on Clubhouse because they bring it up with Nelson and everybody. And this girl said, and she said, well, what have you done about this? Like, what have you done? I said, nothing yet. That's part of the reason what makes me want to get into politics. There's a lot of rules that are just wrong. I was in Matt Gaetz. You know Matt Gaetz? I was in his room on Twitter Spaces.
Oh, really?
Talking to him. Yeah, he's cool. I like him. He just doesn't strike me as your total politician type guy, you know?
Well, people hate him.
Yeah, whatever. I can get that.
And if anything, they'll say that he's racist.
Right. Yeah.
And they're just saying it because, by the way, I'm saying that. I don't agree with it, but they're saying it because he's Republican. So Republicans are racist according to the whatever it is, the media, right? Well, if you're a Republican and you're for capitalism, we're going to prove why that's racist, right? Which is insane, because now what I think what we're doing with our society, and we're getting off topic here, but it seems as if we're throwing out, at least the media is they're throwing out labels, and it's almost kind of like shadowing what that really is and how painful.
This is the problem I had with Trump. It was good marketing, it was good everything, but he would just throw out labels like crooked Hillary and stuff, and that's all that anybody does. And then anybody can play that game, and you can all call it labels. You can say Logan Paul's a scam. You can say whatever you want, and if enough people say it, it creates doubt. Same thing with
right. Well, I mean, like that, but that's a little. I know what you're saying. That's a little bit different. Trump calling crooked Hillary because she deleted 30,000 emails. At least there's some logistic sense to behind that, right? I'm not saying Trump's like the most logical guy in the world. I'm just saying there's logistic sense. But what we're happening and what is finding out is people are connecting certain things. So, for instance, LSU says that they're not going to use the word field anymore because it's racist, right? The school, LSU, said we're not going to be using the word field because it's racist. In order for them to get to that, you have to literally go, okay, this is this, which that means that, and that means that, and that means that, and if that means that, then that means that, so that means racist, right? You have to find it somewhere, right? It's like 7 degrees of separation. And I think that's what we're doing right now as a society. And it's unfortunate because now, if everything is one thing, then it takes away from what the real things are. If everything's racist, then it doesn't mean like, then the people who actually legitimately are some of the most racist people that you've ever met, now it's like it loses its power to hold them accountable because now we're just throwing stones at everybody.
That's one thing Grant said. Grant said if you get anybody enough money, right, then nobody really cares about anything. If you have enough money, you can go in there. You know, that was always his point. I don't know if that's always as true as it can be, because it's just certain stuff. And dude, I don't even know, man. Like literally, like, but I do know because me playing football and seeing stuff that I've seen, it's just wrong, man. And I just want to make it right. And I think a lot of it comes to just, having, mom and dad and having people who have, financial responsibility and doing what they want and just building up better cultures, because anything, dude, just cultures everywhere, and cultures and community set exactly on why people keep repeating what they repeat, so
it's true. It's what people see. What people do. We're in that cycle right now, and I never thought we would be, of the strong men create good times create weak men create bad times create strong men. And we're in that, strong men created good times and the good times created weak men. So we have weak men right now, and men and women. But what else do we have on our agenda? So Logan Paul crying.
So you watched some UFC last night? By the way, did you know there was NFL football last night?
There was, and I didn't watch any of it. I just watched UFC.
I watched some of it with my dad. It was very good with dad. Actually, dude, the Jacksonville Jaguars, which I could care less about the game, really. Although Doug Peterson's the coach who's the coach with the Philly special, which I didn't even know this, dude. I'm finding this all out, right? I haven't been watching football, but if you go into here, look, so there's 2 games. So dad really wanted the Seahawks to win, right? And they played the 49ers.
Right.
And they won losing. But it was 23. They went to the halftime winning 17-16 at half. And it looked like they were going to win, right? And upset them. And dad, dude, I never saw dad get like so upset and then get once it started pulling away like it's over. Geno Smith, Geno Smith, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. He's on the Seahawks now.
He's the starting quarterback. He actually plays pretty good too. Pete Carroll's good for him. But then the other game was Jacksonville.
The Jaguars versus
dude, and I went and watched UFC because they were getting killed. Look at this. It was 27-7, but it wasn't even that. He threw 4 interceptions, this guy. Anyway, they wound up coming up and winning 31-30 at the end. And it's in the most typical dramatic fashion,
Yeah, I read all the reviews on it. The thing is, since I don't have
Jaguars, Trevor Lawrence celebrates win at Waffle House, fires off perfect tweet. I didn't see this. It's the perfect tweet. Is this it right here? He looks like just a homely guy. So someone saw him come in at Waffle House.
They had us in the first half. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, so I would turn on football to watch it. I don't even follow any of the people, and I don't barely know anybody playing football anymore.
Yeah, neither do I, dude. I don't really watch.
But I don't have cable. Like I cut the cord a long time ago, and I'm like,
yeah, no, I know. I think you can stream it for free.
Here we are.
Yeah, you gotta pay for like everything. It's like they gotta fix that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but like in order to like watch a game on NBC, you have to like subscribe to them and then pay $4.99 plus a $14.99 fee to do whatever.
I don't really watch it, dude. Like it's all, to quote what's his name? Andrew Tate. It's all part of the matrix to keep us distracted, you know?
Oh, trying to keep you distracted. So Sean Strickland, did you watch that video I sent you?
Yeah, I did. The whole
he's funny, right?
Funny guy, yeah.
So yeah, so he last just went and fought somebody, I think like 4 months ago. So very recent for fighting. And then the guy who's supposed to fight Imovev, I forget how you say his name. He backed out. Something happened, and they asked Sean Strickland, and he took it.
UFC released. What's his face?
That's what I want to talk about.
Wow, I didn't know that. Okay, so wow.
Okay, so here's the thing. John Jones has been like a UFC GOAT for the longest time. I started watching UFC back in 2016 or 2017.
Right.
I have not watched John Jones fight once.
Right.
I haven't. Right. I'm like, people say you're a casual, whatever it is. You haven't been watching since UFC 1 or UFC 2. So I guess that would be a casual. But I love UFC. I like, to the point of like, I'd love to get a UFC hat or whatever it is. I love it. It's awesome. It's
yeah, I like the brand too. I know. Dude, when Dana White agreed he could be on the podcast, I went and watched everything. So research. I watched Forrest Whitaker. I watched Dana White. So I know so much about it. I kind of missed the whole Tito.
So when did
I watched a little bit of Ron Jones?
John Jones last fight.
Dude, is he not too old to like play? Well, here, I could search it here.
UFC 247. Oh, wow. Okay. This is back in 2020. Why did I not see this fight?
Francis Ngannou will be released from UFC contract. Dude, that's so sad.
So
I like
according to Dana, and we could put it on. Yeah, put it on. Because the first like 2 minutes of
CNN, they never lie.
Release from UFC will be released from UFC contracts, is Dana White. Yeah, so then what they released yesterday is Leon Edwards is going to be fighting Kamaru Usman 3. That's the trilogy set for UFC 286. So that was signed. And then also what was signed was Justin Gaethje is going to be fighting this new guy coming up. So, which is cool because Justin Gaethje hasn't fought in a long time. So this is the thing. According to Dana said that they gave Ngannou like the biggest contract ever for a UFC heavyweight. He said more than any UFC heavyweight would ever have gotten. But he didn't want to take it. And I think this is the reasoning why. I think Ngannou. What?
Because he wants to box.
Right. I think he wanted to do like other things in different sports. But UFC is pretty exclusive. Hey, if you're with us, you're with us. You know, which I can't blame UFC for, to be honest.
However, they let Conor McGregor go and fight Floyd.
Yeah, I wonder what the makings of that were. But that's I want to say that's different. No offense to Ngannou, but he's not selling out pay-per-views like McGregor.
Right, no, he's not McGregor. Listen, McGregor going to Floyd Mayweather is what got me into the UFC. So I was like a boxing guy that got me a crossover to it. So that was a good reason for them to do that, right?
100%. Yeah.
However, it got Dan talking about it. Remember, we went to the casino when that was on. I think so.
You went to the casino. I was watching it at home.
Yeah, I watched it. I thought Conor was going to win that fight too, man. I was so.
Well, Conor looked good in the first 3 to 4 rounds, and you always with McGregor fights, since McGregor doesn't do anything except run away. I will say it, and I will die saying it. By the way, he does a very good job doing it. By the way, he boxes the right way. It always looks like he's never getting like it doesn't look like he's doing anything, right? The opponent
By the way, is why you should still, like, you get more respect for the guy who gets in there and gets beat up, right? Like the Conor McGregor's, the actual fighters. But the reason why Tom Brady's still playing right now and Floyd Mayweather, they're actually smarter, dude. You don't get hit. You get rid of all.
How can I do this without not getting hit as much?
You can do it longer, you know?
You could do it longer, you could collect more money. It's a smart business move.
If I went in and I took another boxing match, I would not get hit like I got hit the first time.
So this is right, but this is the thing. We as men, like, it's inside of us. Think of it this way: if you and I are business people, right? I have one business, you have one business, right?
We are.
Right, but like, we're competing businessmen. We're competing, right? My business is doing 2 million a year. You're doing 2.1. I'm like, fuck that guy. I'm doing 2.2, right? So we keep going back and forth. I go to 5 million, you go to 5 million. I go to 6 million, you go to 6 million, right? We're fighting back and forth. And then we're getting vocal about it. We're getting whatever it is. The only way that we are ever going to solve our real competition problem is if you and I fight each other. Like, that's the weird thing about men, right? Like, if we get to the point where, like, you have the highest business, I have the highest business.
That's why we have wars. It all comes down to war at the end.
So, right. So it's inherently in men for them to be like, all right, you know what, let's fight, right? Like, that's how it is with guys for some reason, right? So I think a lot of times when guys watch somebody and they're watching somebody who's running away from people, it just doesn't feel right for us as guys, even though logistically it makes sense, right? And actually, I would want myself to do that. I would want my son to do that. If they weren't fighting, I think it just feels off. For like, that's not the male thing to do. As crazy as that sounds, evolutionary as that sounds.
Right.
But yeah, that's just but anyway, so John Jones is fighting, and he's gonna be fighting Cyril Gane. And John Jones' last fight was, I guess, back in 2020, which I didn't see, which is weird to me. Then he fought in 239.
He's only lost once.
Fought in 232. Why did I watch any John Jones fights?
I know Cyril Gane is. Cyril Gane's not very exciting. I mean, he's a good fighter, but he's not like.
Right.
Didn't he fight? He fought Francis.
Cormier?
Didn't Cyril Gane fight Francis? And what's his
name?
They
did. Yep.
And 100%. Francis beat him, right?
And Ngannou beat him. Yes, he did. So that's why Ngannou. So anyway, Ngannou walked. He said, "I'm not signing," and he walked.
Wow, crazy times. First UFA champ to walk out of promotion since. Why also confirmed
John Jones signed a new 8-fight contract with the UFC. How old is John Jones?
I don't know. Maybe they give him cupcake fights, you know?
Oh, Cyril Gane's not easy.
No, I know he's not, but I'm just saying after him, you know? John Jones is a big name. Like, I knew of him because of that, you know?
But yeah, so he's back. UFC's back. And yes, they said Kamaru Usman's going to be fighting Leon Edwards. So I'm definitely going to be watching that. And then let's see.
Did you watch the Dana White apology video press conference? All right. So I didn't watch it.
Hey guys, Toby Mathis here, and question I get all the time is, how do I make my personal assets?
Toby Mathis, the mayor's time here.
Ige, Kopylov, Umar, and Nascimento all got the bonuses, $50,000, and then the other two guys that had finishes too. I'll end up taking care of them and getting 50,000, but
shorter.
They'll do it.
So this is where he renounces.
I guess and Francis, we offered Francis a deal that would have made him the highest paid heavyweight in the history of the company, more than Lesnar, more than anybody, and he turned the deal down. So, you know, I don't know.
By the way, sometimes it's money, dude, that doesn't drive people, you know?
You know,
right.
We get to this point where I've told you guys this.
It's experiences. Like, if he wants to really go boxing, like, dude, I wanted to box, you know? You know what I mean? Like,
before, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. You know, I think Francis is in a place right now where he doesn't want to take a lot of risk. Feels like he's in a good position where he could fight lesser opponents and make more money. So we're gonna let him do that. We're gonna release him from his contract. We're gonna give up our right to match, and he can go wherever he wants and do whatever he wants.
Which is kind of true, dude. Like literally, he just tore his ACL. Like that's not a big thing, and he acted like it was no big deal in the fight. You get seriously messed up. So honestly, for a personal thing, yeah, he can get paid more money. But if he can take less damage, if he can take Floyd Mayweather cupcake fights, make more money, okay, box somebody, make more money. In boxing, you don't get as hurt as you do at the UFC. Maybe brain damage and everything like that right down the road, but you just don't right away, you know? If he could, dude, I would do that too, you know?
And yeah, that's where we're at.
When was that decision made, Dana? How long have you known that this was going to be the case, that Francis was gone?
Well, we've been negotiating with him for 2 years, you know, and there were a lot of different, you know, even now, I mean, the guy was just weighing over 300 pounds, just had knee surgery, hasn't really had a real training camp. And I think that probably has a lot to do with it.
Anyway, so
you're going to fight somebody
so
who
that's
is
cool. So John Jones
of all time, somebody who is.
I mean, there's not really much more to say about that, right?
Yeah. Somebody's asking me to explain. Mike J, he's like, he's seeing Ed Milet's mini days, and he's like, what's going on? He's like, explain this to me. He's like, this makes zero sense. This is a cut up video, and it doesn't make sense.
Look, 2 days ago, Sugar Sean O'Malley does.
I lose my email list, my following,
You know that?
my influence, my
Dude, I think
team,
every
my-
one of the
my brand.
UFC fighters.
Talked
do
about
it.
Francis Ngannou to free agency, supposedly. I don't know if that's gotten confirmed yet. His mom's wearing a PFL shirt. Like, I just feel like Francis isn't going to make more money outside the UFC. He will fight probably lesser competition, which, I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily his goal. Maybe just it's tough because, dude, I bet it's, I don't know. It could be Francis's management talking.
Dude, but think about this, dude. PFL probably doesn't have people as well as, if you really think of this in a business way, doesn't have as much talent as the UFC. UFC is like the NFL, right? PFL is like a amateur league, right?
Right.
But if you get somebody, aka Jake Paul, come and say, hey, we're gonna match 50% of your pay, you'll get paid more on these fights, right? Which is what he's saying. And he knows that Jake Paul wants to put healthcare and do some sort of thing in it. That's what they're trying to do, right? For the whole time. And this guy's getting beat up and hurt. He's like, and it probably, dude, then does it matter fighting the best people? No, because it's his life. So he's going to go out there. He's still a fighter. He'll fight a B league, but he might get paid, maybe not more money, right? Get paid some more. And it might be a little bit better off, you know?
What I think is,
I think he could always come back to the UFC. Maybe, I don't know. They might disbar him.
people start to decline. And like, if you had the choice to go from the NFL to back to college, right? I think a lot of NFL guys would actually do that, like towards the end of their career, like, oh, you know what, maybe instead of going, because there's not really, I mean, there's semi-pro, but it's not like as organized as, colleges, right? I think a lot of these
some guys did. They came from playing in the NFL to semi-pro team that I played.
Right. So it's a similar thing. I think
they always wanted to go back to NFL, but I think there's different types of animals and stuff. Like Tom Brady could easily come and go and play for I don't know. They have the XFL. Do you see The Rock to bought over the XFL and that's coming out with this season?
Deja vu. He did that like 15 years ago and just came out onto the field and said, we're going to take your football that doesn't have a black and red logo on it, and we're going to shove it up your ass. And
Who said that?
The Rock did.
Oh, really?
This is when the XFL first came out. I remember. And he was doing it because it was originally done like
they bought WWE.
It.
Yeah.
Like if you go to YouTube and see if you can find The Rock saying that.
Okay, yeah, we'll go there. Do you like The Rock?
I like him, yes. But just put like opening. The Rock opening.
So this is before he bought the XFL, right?
Yeah, right there. Oh wait, 10 years ago. Yeah.
What's the best way to invest $1,000 right now this year? Well, it's not stocks. It's not crypto.
Right.
It's
No, I do it because we're running YouTube ads now for people. So I want to like see all the best ads, you know, what's out there.
I mean, you could scroll through it until you get.
After 6 long years, The Rock says, finally, professional football has come back to Los Angeles.
I remember watching this.
Our country, for that matter, are sick and tired of NFL suits telling us what we want. Now, and then we want you to fill your bags back up with the things that are obviously most important to you. We want the NFL suits to fill their bags up with their little cell phones, with their little dinner reservations, and then we want you to add one more thing, a brand new red and black XFL football. And once you've added that football, we want you to zip your bags up, make sure they're nice and tight and secure. And then we say to you, the NFL suits, and to everyone around who wants to tell us, the people, what we should have and what we shouldn't have. We respectfully tell you to take your bags, turn them sideways, and stick them straight up your candy asses. Cooking.
This is back when the XFL was.
I remember, dude. I watched that when it first started. I was actually dreaming. That's when I was still trying to play football. I don't know, 10 years ago. Yeah. So I was like, oh, maybe I could go play for the XFL. And they shut it down after a thing, you know?
Right. But yeah, no, but just saying, I think what Nagano's doing right now is, you know, he tore his ACL and his MCL, I believe it was. So that's a serious injury. And he might be just asking himself, like, do I really want to do this shit? Also, you know, maybe the UFC wasn't treating him as great as the UFC says they were. And he's like, you know what? I'm getting old. I don't want to deal with this shit anymore. UFC's not treating me as good as I want them to. I'll go somewhere else. It's a great thing about capitalism, you know?
Yeah. Speaking of which, so
specifically, Jackson State.
Bigger sunglasses, less hair.
We are committed.
do you think The Rock does steroids?
Yeah, of course.
What's up, boys? What does it mean to you personally to have the support of someone like Deion Sanders to help make today possible?
Well, you know, we were talking to Deion, Coach Prime, earlier when we got here to the field, and you know what he has done here at this university, how he has, and I also know what it's like to be told you're good, but you're not good enough. Which is why we're number 54. There are 53 men on an NFL roster. I was always number 54. DJ, you're good, but you're not good enough, and this is where your dream ends.
Yeah, so dude, he likes football, man, and that's why he bought it, you know. And
right.
And so, dude, they just did a draft not too long ago. See, XFL draft opening. So, I mean, it is coming, you know.
2023 inaugural King Johnson. We are so excited. This is our amazing.
It's like the PFL of the thing here. All right, what else are we going to talk about?
Yeah, because I got 20 minutes left. So let's do Andrew Tate. Do a Tate update, and then let's do what was the other thing? We didn't get into Miss America or Miss Universe.
Yeah, that's the first time I heard about it. You just texted me that.
So I saw all these things. Like, we could just Google that. Let's find out right now, or go on Twitter and find out.
I don't know. Let's see. How do you find on Twitter? Explore Twitter, and then what am I searching?
Miss Universe. So what do we got? We got
Miss Universe.
But his voice is still so deep. Miss Universe 2020. Okay, yeah, that's what I saw. So click on that.
Owned by trans women.
Oh.
For all women. The Miss Universe organization. From now on, it's going to be ran by women. owned by a trans woman. For all women.
Oh, okay. So a trans woman, a man,
Right.
For all women really around.
owns Miss America now.
All right. That's not a trans woman, is it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's a man. I mean, it was a man who's now a woman.
Right. Does he, whatever, does it own? It owns, didn't what on Miss
Do
Universe?
they? Yes, she owns it.
Gotcha.
He didn't win. He owns it. So he's a businessman owning, but a businesswoman promoting. I don't know.
Yeah, dude, it's weird, man. It's weird. I don't even know the whole point of pageants, you know?
You know, you used to get kicked off of Twitter if you dead named somebody, right?
You what?
Dead named someone. You know what that is?
No, what's that?
Dead naming is this. You could also Google it. Dead naming is a horrible thing, according to the woke people. And that is, let's say, do you know who Ellen Page is?
No, I don't. Who's that?
Search Ellen Page.
On Twitter?
You can.
Is it a trans?
Paige, but Paige, not Pagig. Okay, so Ellen, you know who she is, or he is.
Dude, I hate talking about all this stuff.
It's very confusing. Ellen used to be, she was the girl in Inception who wrote down the little the things. So the short little girl in Inception.
Oh yeah.
See, did you mean Elliot Page? This is why you can get, so I'm dead naming her right now by calling her Ellen Page.
By her real name.
So if I refer to her as what she used to be, that's a dead name, right? Because now she's Elliot Page. So
wait, she wrote is this
no, that's somebody who actually is named. So wow, they're removing everything from Ellen Page. It's now to Elliot Page. So search see, Twitter suspends Jordan Peterson for tweet about Elliot Page, trans sin. So that's New York Post. Click on that. So Jordan Peterson says, remember when
this is the girl. I know who that is. Wow.
Wow, right? And so now she's a he. So then he tweets, Jordan Peterson tweeted something saying, like, do you remember when Pride was a sin and Ellen Page just had her breast removed by a criminal physician? And then he sent the picture of it because now Ellen Page, it's odd, Jeff. Like, Elliot Page is now like posing topless for magazines, and you can see like her surgery and like everything, and like technically it's okay because she's a man now, but she was a woman, so that means it's a woman topless. But now since she's a man, it's okay for us to watch it. Anyway, Jordan Peterson was suspended. No more Twitter until he deletes the tweet. Definitely not a free speech platform at the moment. So he got, I think he got removed. Did he get removed? No, he got a strike because he dead named her, right? So you use her old name, Ellen Page, as opposed to Elliot Page. Who knows? I don't know if YouTube would do the same thing with us. I'm just trying to explain the etymology and the page of what happened. The page, the whole journey of what happened.
I don't know, dude. It's like Frankenstein, dude, like inventing people. And so if I want to go be a girl, I could go be a girl now.
Correct. And if I called you a boy and said for 36 years of your life you were a man, then I would get kicked off, even if you're my brother, because I dead named you.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's one of the reasons why Elon Musk bought Twitter, because it's just insanity, right? We cannot observe what was actually happening because it's hateful. So that's Miss Universe. Let's finish up with Tate. So do you see
part of the reason when we started doing the real news talk, we're like, hey, let's talk to news. I was just so sickening. Like I could literally
you're like, oh my God, I don't want to talk about anything.
So dude, like here's the thing, and I mean this in all, I've always wanted to run for politics. I don't know if I ever will. I don't know if I'm close. President's kind of reaching. I know that. I can do it. Like I have people believe that I can, anybody can go out and run. It's really not that hard. But dude, that's the only way to make change now. That's the way I'm looking at it,
I mean, I think really who's making change right now is somebody's not even a president. I think Elon Musk is making a lot of changes, shaking up a lot, and he's not even president.
So I'll go get 44 billion and come right back.
Yeah, you froze for some reason. I don't know why.
Because I have so many, because I'm working on my funnels and websites and I'm getting a text.
Probably. So let's finish up talking about Tate. So first, search on Twitter, Eliza Blue.
Who's that? Is that another tranny?
Yeah, so no. Eliza. Yeah. It's not. I thought that was her name. I would be talking about that. Maybe just search Eliza.
He's coming soon.
Yeah. Search Eliza.
Hello, this is Jeff. Hey, Matthew, you're a part of a show right now. I used to do solar sales. I used to do door to door. How you doing? You're a part of a live stream.
Oh, okay. I'm just following up your interest about going solar power. Is this Jeff Cunningham?
This is the future president of the United States, Jeff Cunningham. How you doing today?
Wonderful. My part's very simple. Just to make sure we're able to work with the home. It looks like you had an interest in going solar power for a home in Southington, Connecticut.
Yeah, no, I'm all set with that now, actually. But thank you.
Okay, and you wouldn't want to see what we're able to offer? No obligation for the consultation?
Oh, well, if there's no obligation, then.
Yeah, we can definitely see what we have to offer. My job is just to make sure we're able to work with the home. I don't have the complete street address. What is the complete street address for the home?
Well, let me ask you a question quick first. Do you know who Grant Cardone is?
I'm not familiar with the name. I'm not really into politics. If that's
No, it's not a politic guy. He's a sales guy. He trains sales. When I did solar, I watched Cardone U, and I did a lot of his sales back during the day. And he taught phone sales. So you were really good at phone. So I thought maybe you watched some of his stuff.
Oh, I think I've heard of him. Yeah, I think that he's on YouTube a lot. I think
YouTube. So I'm kind of like a young Grant Cardone. I get paid. I might not run for president. I just say that for marketing. But where the country's at right now, where capitalism and freedom is going away. So whatever I have to do, I'll do to protect this country.
Understand. Totally got it.
We're spelling it wrong. ELIZABLEU. Like blue cheese.
Eliza, sorry, I'm really on the middle of a show right now. You can find it on YouTube later on. Eliza, what is it? ELIZA.
BLEU.
Oh, BLEU. Eliza. You ever hear Eliza Blue?
No, you're doing two things at once. ELIZA.
I'll talk to you later.
BLUE.
You too. Bye. You got it. Bye. Sorry.
That poor guy. He's working on a Sunday.
I'm working on a Sunday too, man.
BLEU.
Maybe she's not on Twitter.
She is on Twitter. I wonder if she removed her account. Oh, there it is. It just said right there with the blue check mark, with the check mark right there. Okay. Scroll down. So she's a human trafficking survivor advocate. She was on Timcast, Tim Pools.
Mm-hmm.
And keep scrolling down. She's taking a break from Twitter. Good for her. Talking about Andrew Tate's thing.
Oh, where's that?
I thought she had posted it, but maybe it was Timcast who posted it.
Who's Timcast?
Timcast IRL, Tim Pool.
Hey, you know who this guy is?
Yeah, he looks familiar.
Yeah, he's Richard Blumenthal. He's the Connecticut children's book. He's the Connecticut communist guy.
So she's a human trafficking person. Here's the thing. This is the reason why I want to Survivor. Maybe it's underneath Timcast. Search Timcast.
Oh, there's football on right now.
Yeah, it's Sunday.
Cool that they put the
click on Tim Pool. Scroll down. Keep scrolling a little bit more because she was on 8 days ago.
Yeah, I don't know how this guy's podcast got so popular.
I do.
I've only seen a few of them, so.
It's January 10th. Maybe he didn't post it. Anyway, it was a good video that I wanted you to watch, or at least let's watch the first 10 seconds of it. It's a video of her explaining that she got 2 letters from somebody who claimed that Andrew Tate trafficked them.
Okay.
So, and she reads them out loud on air. These are the 2 letters that I have from 2 people who've been trafficked by, and to keep their, and they want to be kept anonymous, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to show it to you because unfortunately, and I actually believe in what this girl's doing, it discredited what she does, because what it sounded like, there was no facts, there was no, he did this, he did that. It was all emotionally charged. There's no facts listed in either of the things. It was all, and she gets all emotional reading about this, and she's like, this is why I do this every single day. He needs to be brought to justice.
Right.
And
yeah. So there's some audio that came out. Go ahead. Yeah.
But here's the thing. It looked inauthentic. It looked fake. My personal belief is, reading it, I don't, Eliza Blue, whoever you are, I don't disagree with you in saying that we need to keep on watching human traffickers, except the letters that she read sounded so unrealistic.
Right.
So what it sounded like was somebody wrote a letter that purposely is preying on emotions of other people, but is not listing any facts, because there are no facts. And if they were to list facts, they would come out to be wrong, right? So it's an emotional propaganda. It's emotional, like, to stir people up. Having said that, there's a lot of this going on right now. So Vice released all these things like that are messages that girls sent to Andrew Tate. And like a lot of them are like really risque text messages.
Vice, by the way, Vice is not like incredible. So Vice said like pedophilia for
100. I was going to get into that. There's 2 different things going on right now. There are people who are actively trying to take down Andrew Tate, right? Whether or not they have actually credible evidence, if there is credible evidence and he is doing what he's accused of doing, I don't know if we should see it right yet, because let the courts actually take care of that. And B, if it is the truth, put the guy in jail for the rest of his life, right? Like 100%. If it is not true, if they are just making up stuff and just cutting little text messages, because then there's like Vice released a text message where Andrew Tate said something like, I enjoy raping you, to a girl, right? And like just cut that out and just put it as, oh my God, like he enjoys raping a girl. And then you responded, the girl's response was like, it's only consent because I love it, or whatever it is. It's obviously risque text messages going back and forth, but they're cutting them to make it look like, oh my God, he whatever it is. Here's the problem with all that. If the guy is really guilty, what happening is them cutting up all these things to try and make look guilty, and then you see the actual truth of it. You're like, well, this is just propaganda. Let's find out the real truth of what's going on. And I think what's happening right now is people are so agenda driven. They're not and emotionally driven, kind of like what Patrick Bet-David was saying. People are so emotionally driven, they're not logically driven. Okay, if he did step 1 and step 2 and step 3, that means he must be guilty. That's logic. But if somebody's saying, well, he might have said this at one time and he could have done this at one time, we have to put him behind bars. Right now, it's making the case for it seem very inauthentic. So I don't know where we're at right now. I don't know whether from where he was actually caught, when he was caught. I have no clue whether he is even more guilty or less guilty from the day that he was actually, taken into custody. Having said that, and I'll wrap this up, the more that's coming out about him, and this could have been a great play by him, it seems very inauthentic and it doesn't seem real. Like I'm sure you have too as well. You've talked to women who have been hurt by men. And when that happens, it's a weird, very uncomfortable thing. And it's very sad. And it's very like, wow. Everything that I'm seeing, I don't get that feeling from it. Like I've talked to girls who have,
dude, like gut feeling. Listen, dude, I still think when I said Andrew Tate was a tool, I don't really like fall for just flashing Bugattis. It's just not my way of doing it. Totally way to marketing, totally works, but I still do agree with that. The more I watch him, I understood him. Did I ever think he was did I have issues with how he made his money? 100%. I made that very clear, and I wouldn't make my money that way. I think Layla Halpern or whatever, she said it the best. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, right? He made his money in a certain way, and now he's winning stupid prizes, like in his own way, right? Of the acknowledgement and everything there. I think Alex Jones, but my gut feeling is that, it's a whole sham. He was saying a lot of things that were against, the status quo. You sent me a bunch of stuff that he says it very good. He just says stuff, and they're just going to try and cancel him like anybody. That's what I was telling Arturo too about.
This is my problem. I don't care if the guy's a tool or not a tool. And you're going to play this in a second. I don't care if he's a tool or not a tool. I don't care how he's made his money.
I have talked to Andrew Tate's lawyer. I've got.
Oh God, sorry.
Saying that, having said that, I'm more worried about the in-between. Like, let's say Andrew Tate, replace Andrew Tate with Jeff Cunningham, right? This is Jeff Cunningham. Jeff Cunningham, I don't agree with the way Jeff Cunningham made his money, right? I'm saying that about you. But Jeff Cunningham made his money, and he did. But now he's coming out.
I didn't do it with webcam girls, dude. I could have. Here's the thing.
It doesn't matter.
It does, because I'm comparing it, though. That's the point.
It doesn't. This is what you're failing to understand. Okay. It does not matter because I disagree with you. Okay. Right? I'm not saying that I do. I'm saying I, as a random person, now disagrees with Jeff Cunningham and the way he's made his money. Right? It feels different now, doesn't it? And that
it doesn't. No, listen, I'm not going to listen, because
this is the reason why it does. And let me explain to you. This is what I'm worried about. I said, listen, if this guy's guilty, he should go to jail. 100%. 100%. This is what I'm worried about. The in between, right? You just saying, I don't agree with the way the guy made his money. Millions of people out there think the same way you do. So now there's an in between. They don't like it. They don't like the result. So the in-between of that is they're going to do whatever they can to get this guy put in jail or do whatever it is. Regardless of whether or not whatever is true or not, they are emotionally charged. What you just said is an emotionally charged thing. I don't like the way the guy made his money.
It's an easy way to make money. It's a cop-out. It's Instagram follows. It's all that.
Separate this. I'm in agreement with you. I believe that as well. I'm like, that's kind of a scummy way to make money, but he made money, and I'm not going to fault him for it. I personally won't. If that's what the girls want to do, again, personal accountability. That's what girls want to do. That's their choice. It's their choice, and it's his choice.
But more morally wrong.
Accountability. So that's the whole thing. But this is also what I'm trying to kind of say as well. Morally wrong, right? Yeah, that's what you're saying. Now I'm saying Jeff Cunningham, he's morally wrong for the way he's made money. But let's take you out of it because you're emotionally getting charged up by this. Josh Cunningham, morally wrong. by the way he's made money. He's made courses to help people. And since he is not flying out there and helping somebody individually that is morally wrong against my morals, I'm going to take him down. Right?
CoffeeZilla does that.
100%. That's what's happening right now. So the in-between, I'm just painting the scenarios. The in-between of what's happening is all emotionally charged. The people who love Andrew Tate are saying, oh my God, this is all fake. The people who hate him are creating evidence. So now the in-between, this circle, it's a mess. We don't know what the truth is. So we as consumers are all confused. And what's happening is now the people who are emotionally charged and want to take down a guy, and maybe he's guilty, maybe he's not guilty, at this point, all it's doing is creating more division, more hate, and now we'll never really know what's true or what's not true. And that is what I think is the most like insane thing to me, because I watch people like Eliza Blue who are doing good things, but I'm also hearing her read statements. I go, that just feels wrong to me, even though I'm fully agreement with her. It feels inadequate. It doesn't feel real. And I'm not saying that, let's say it turns out to be true and I could be the worst person in the world. I would literally say that, like, listen, that feels wrong to me. Like, I'm not trying to sound like the worst person in the world. Just this whole in-between thing of what's happening is all emotionally charged, and it's bad. Like, the reason why I'm saying it's bad is because we're not going to find out the truth. I think it's all going to be put underneath some type of smoke screen. And I don't even know if it matters if the guy's really guilty or not. Obviously, I don't want him to be guilty, because if that means he is guilty, it's insane to me that people want this guy to be guilty, because that means if you want him to be guilty, that means you want him to abuse and traffic women, right? So you don't, for me, I don't want him to be guilty, obviously, because of that. But if he is, then good on the judicial system. We're finally taking care of people after years of all this stuff being swept under the rug. My point in saying all that is it's also emotionally charged that I don't know if we'll ever figure out what's going on.
Right. So here's the thing. Davos is having a meeting. Listen, Andrew Tate got extremely popular during a marketing tactic that is genius. I have full respect for it. I like that. I like a lot of things he says. Okay. With all that said, I don't like what he did in the past. I don't think he likes what he did in the past. I think, dude, I've watched him on interviews, them ask him, like, what did you do to make your money? And he goes, I sell Hustlers University. He's proud of that, making kids money online. Because anybody is. You're helping impart knowledge. That's the thing. I've seen him many times just be like, man, that was stupid. If he could go back, and I'm sure, like, heck, I'll interview him, he'd say, yeah, I wish I didn't do all that. Like, it was stupid. I was young, right? 100%. Everybody deserves second chances all the time, you know?
I don't know, Jeff. I don't know if he would agree with that. I think he would probably say I learned a lot from my business. Maybe I don't even know. He probably would still stick to it. If he didn't technically do anything illegal, he'd probably like, hey,
the reason why they're still not doing the OnlyFans agency. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's parts of it, you know?
What is that? What are the reasons?
I don't know. Like, you'd have to ask them, but then what are, like, if it was still, dude, there's multiple people I know right now doing OnlyFans agencies right now who are making boatloads of money. Okay.
Right.
And they're not stopping. So why would he stop? You know what I'm saying? So
there's a lot. Well, did he stop, or is he still doing it?
I don't know. Who knows, dude? Like,
this is all assumptions. This is what I'm saying. Like, we don't know.
Yeah, but that's what they say. That's what they said. I think he said that too. Like, dude, it was on the Nelk Boys podcast when they asked him, like, what do you do to make your money? And he kind of like skated around. Like, I had show. We don't have time to put it all up. Maybe we could debrief with them. Either way, he's become a public figure. He's become arrested. 100%. This could happen to me and anybody. I believe with Davos, this is just a big way to really create more divide. I think any story that's in the headline, whether it's Ben and J-Lo or whatever it is, or this one with Jordan Peterson, is always to create divide all the time. Okay, that's where if you take everything and say, okay, where's the division in this story? Vaccine, boom, right? You can find it. So if you think out a little bit above this, okay, how does it reflect me? What can I work on me? How can I make the world a better place? I think it can be better than just like always focused on one side, you know?
I agree. I think really with everything that's going on right now, it's just like it's clouding everything even more. And I don't know what's true and what's not true.
Right, which I think strategically, Davos is meeting right now in January. I think they might be meeting today, actually. I was reading it on McKinsey Consulting. McKinsey Consulting is one of my direct competitors in consulting. They consult HR companies and all that, right? So if you go to McKinsey's site, you can see them write all about Davos and what they're meeting on. But this is what I think. And this is what I think I sent this to you. this here. Did you see this?
You did. Let's play it.
I have talked to Andrew Tate's lawyer. I've got the inside scoop on what's really going on. I can tell you.
Dude, I love this guy.
That it's completely, absolutely, totally made up. So I know his MO. He was not trafficking women, all this crap. They know how to come after us for the things that we've been exposing that they've been doing with the deep state with children and everything else. It's the same way they got Julian Assange. 2 really hot women picked him up at a bar. He went home with them, and it turned out they worked for the CIA, sex operatives. It's very, very dangerous to fight the New World Order if you are promiscuous or not married, because they will set you up. Julian Assange, 10 years later, still locked up with no real trial. The deep state admits they orchestrated the whole thing. CIA operatives had sex with him and then claimed the condom broke, so it was rape. People need to know, when you're fighting the New World Order, it is a James Bond movie for real.
So I feel like I'm in a James Bond movie for real.
Yeah, all this is insanity. And you know,
I get married. So thoughts on that, on what he said, Alex Jones?
You know, here's the thing about Alex Jones. Like, Alex, he means well, and like, he fucked up with Sandy Hook, and I really wish he didn't, because a lot of people don't even listen to anything that he says, and he says a lot of stuff that's like, wow, that's actually very true. He's also a marketing guy. He says crazy shit on purpose.
Right. Kind of almost the Andrew Tate model, you know?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it is like, it's clear now more than ever, if you say things that are against the narrative of what the world wants to portray, the YouTube.
Who though? Who's the world? The New World Order, the reset, all that.
Right. Yeah. If you say things against what YouTube, what Facebook, what Meta, Instagram, not Twitter anymore, because Twitter seems to be free for however long that's going to last. It's just a scary moment in life. It's like, you don't know what to say. You don't know what's real.
I'm sure I think Davos, when they meet at Davos, which everybody thinks is a part of it, and who knows? I was looking up one of the guys that messaged him on LinkedIn, because they're all people anyway. Like, if you get to him, he's going to want to take down Twitter next. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're probably going to try and find something on Elon Musk.
I mean, they already did, dude. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, find what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the end goal? Like, why? Why are we all doing it?
I mean, the reason why is to,
control. What's the end goal in this? What's the end reason, you know?
The end goal is to control the population, to control the people.
Yeah, but why? For what? Like, I wouldn't even want to control everybody anyway, you know?
So, I mean, if you really, you know what the whole thing is. If you really want to get down to it, it's evil. It's satanic. And I don't want to sound like a crazy, weird guy, but like, if you believe that God creates life and he was the creator and he created life, the antithesis of that would be the devil, would be Satan, and destroying life. And there's really creative ways of how you can destroy life. One of that is to create division, so people are against each other. 2 is to get people to stop procreating, right? To stop having families. Whatever is evil in life, whether you believe in God or not, is the destruction of family is evil. When anybody is trying to destroy a child's life or trying to destroy a family, it's evil, in my opinion. But you do it through that way. And then it's also controlling of the population and making sure that they serve one master, which whatever it is, riches, whatever, it's not going to be God, but it's to force people away from God. And it's to force people away into really something that's going to be ultimately satanic. And I think everybody's on board for it right now. I mean, I'm not, but like, everybody's like, yeah, let's do it. And
and maybe it's different circles. I think majority of why, and Grant said this, why they slowed down when they started doing the mandatory lockdowns, and they're like, well, there's more people right now. There's more actual people in America than the government. You know what I mean? And there's more. Yeah. So my whole point is, and I mean this in the most due respect way, when this country was founded, and the reason why we had the right birth was to overthrow the government. That's the only reason why it's in there. It's to protect yourself, but that was the main reason, okay? And so literally what Robert Kiyosaki said, this isn't a thing, worst case recession, what is best case recession, worst case civil war. I think a lot of what everybody wants is to push it to civil war to this point, you know?
Yeah, because it gets people to fight against each other. And if you get people to fight against each other, then as the government, you have to step in, right? If I'm fighting against you every single day in the streets, then what do I need?
McDonald, dude, he says it so well. He says, get people to divide. But literally, I personally think, Josh, aside from some wackos who really think men should be women, okay, and there's some people, because like you talked to, and listen, it's a new education, right? The he, she, them, all this stuff, like the West, all this side, like there's a reason why it's all like we're losing God in America. That's really what it comes down to. 100% more than anything. Like it's not in God we trust and everything. And it's very it's not like to progress and get forward isn't to like get what
so before we wrap up, we're gonna wrap up right now. Pull up Twitter and search Tristan Tate. Tristan Tate hasn't said anything. He released one tweet. I don't know if he deleted it. I don't think he did.
Is he still in prison or no?
Yeah, they're both still in detention, I guess.
Oh, so they have their phone in it?
I don't know.
Or is this someone doing their account?
I don't.
Free the Tates, Miss Allah, brother Cobra.
Mashallah, brother Cobra Tate. Go to his actual profile.
Yeah, I don't know how to what is Tate?
No, it is Tristan Tate, but I don't know. Yeah, it's Talesman. Tate Talesman. Yeah. That one. Tate the Talesman. Tristan Tate. Click on that. Oh, that first one. My brother received thousands of letters from Muslim supporters around the world. Not a single Christian has sent me a letter.
Wow.
So that dude, that like breaks my heart, but he brings up a good point. Like Christians, Jesus people, need to stand up more.
Dude, look at what Rob Moore said. It doesn't matter because Jesus loves you. Do you know who this guy is, Rob Moore?
Don't know.
He interviewed Grant. He interviewed Floyd Mayweather. He's big on Clubhouse. He ran a lot of healings. A lot of
don't know him. I thought I would, but I don't.
I know him very well. His things anyway. He does what I do,
But anyway, he's not wrong. I mean, I think Christians, people believe in the Lord, believe in God, need to stand up for God more. The Muslims have it a little bit right. If you say anything against Allah, they go crazy, right? I'm not saying go crazy on people, but stand up for the Lord, right?
I agree.
It's going to make the government and the powers that be so much easier for them to put a gun in your face and say, hey, you believe in God? And you go, no. Okay, cool. You just announced God. I got you on my side now, and I think it sounds utopian. It sounds dystopian. Is what I mean, not utopian, but
well, how can we solve for X? How can the future look bright? How can we make it better? Because dude, this is why I want to stop doing real news, because it makes me so discouraged, And plus,
I posted this on my Instagram, and it's that clip from that song Coexistence, and somebody
I liked it,
yeah, and it's a Nobel Peace Prize winner, and it's like a 25-minute speech, but one of the greatest things she says in the speech is that why is it that countries are so powerful in creating wars, but are so weak in bringing peace? And there are questions in life that just automatically make a man stop and think. That's one of those. That's a question that makes you go, fuck, why? And a lot of it is our ego, and a lot of it is our fear. So how do we solve all of this? It's that quote, a revolution is something that happens when a man stands still and says, I will not move, right? That's the beginning of a revolution, when somebody stands still and says, no, I will not move. So I think for more of us to speak up and say, no, we believe in what's right. We believe in treating other human beings right. We believe in God. If you don't believe in God, that's okay. But I still respect my fact that I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, and I respect the fact that you don't. And let's coexist on this planet together and help each other out. And the more we stand to say that, instead of just saying, okay, whatever. It's what Jordan Peterson said. Evil things happen one step at a time. You get pushed towards the edge of a cliff slowly. Just do this, and then you pull away. Just do this, and then you pull away. Just do this, and you pull away. Just do this, you pull away.
What's happening right now?
Yeah, it's where we're at right now. You get pushed until you go, oh, no, until there's resistance.
You see why I talk about how I want to run for politics? Because it just seems like such a big claim. That's why.
Get it.
And dude, here's the thing. And I personally believe, like, my name means peacemaker. Like, I have always been able to bring, like, kids and like people together. You know what I mean? And I think there's certain people can do that. And I think I can do that. I know I can. It's whether or not I'm called to do that, or I just want to do the Elon Musk and get the business and go buy Instagram and Facebook. You know, there was a kid who told me, I still remember it. And Arturo told me, he got so mad. He said, I forget what he said, because I was talking about what I'm building. And he was, yeah, well, it's not like you can go by Twitter. And I said, no, don't say that. You can't go by Twitter. I can go by Twitter if I want. It was when Elon Musk was doing it. I said, you just have to get other people. I know connections of people. If we want to go by Twitter, we can. And he got all like that. Because, dude, like, you can't limit yourself in your mind to believe you can't, like, go by Twitter. You know what I mean? Or go by Instagram or go by Facebook, you know? Because once you do, then you just give up, you know? And I will never give up, you know, which is what we talked about.
I think the earth is just a training ground for the new world. That's what we have to look at it. Like what you and I believe that Jesus is coming back and there's going to be a whole new world, right? Revelation 21. And this is just a training ground.
How soon do you think we have? And maybe we shouldn't put this as live because
dude, I don't know. No man knows the
because dad just, it's ridiculous, you know.
Well, I mean, listen, I don't know. I have no idea. All I know is I'm going to pray more fervently. I want to read my Bible more fervently. And I'm going to act as if the Lord can come back any day. But I'm also going to act as if the Lord was never coming back. So that's how I'm living my life right now. And
we didn't get into OpenAI and ChatGPT. I'm doing a whole training on a Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern.
Wow. Well, yeah, we're 10 minutes over my schedule. Well, we got a little bit deep at the end. Just because, like, I see a lot of things happening. It was about the